Namaskaram. In Mahabharatam, we have gone through the killing of Abhimanyu, and what follows is the consequences. Very important part of the war, very tense and very trend setting. So, what we finished is Abhimanyu Vadha Parvam, the sub-Parvam of Drona Parvam. And now we are starting what is called Pratijna Parvam. That is the vow taken by Arjuna. We will see soon what the vow is. But as Arjuna and Krishna, they finished that day's war. That day is the 13th day, 13th day's war, and when they were approaching the camp, Arjuna felt that something is very wrong, very abnormal. He doesn't hear the usual merrymaking, people boasting about the victorious wars they fought. Even before that, Arjuna says, Enden karal pidakkunnu, vakumuttunnu keshava, anishtamundu sujippu, talarunundu dehavum. Why is my body is becoming weak for no reason? My heartbeat is abnormally high. My words are being blocked. And there is something very wrong. He starts with that. Then he notices the unusual surroundings in the camp. He says, Mangalya Turya Ghoshangal Kelkunilla Janardana Shankadambara Vanbedi Ghosha Totira Cherniha. I don't hear the usual sounds of various musical instruments which are played after victorious wars. Then, like Veena Vayana Kelpila, that I don't hear the, the beatings on Veena. And then he says, Mukhaprasadam Kanunnatilla Ningal Koralkume. Abhimanyuvine kanmila adaripila ningalmam. That why is that all your face? He is addressing the Pandava veterans. I see there is no happiness on your faces. You are all gloomy looking. And I don't see Abhimanyu. You don't welcome me. That is, either you are hanging to your heads or you are turning your head away from me. Chakravyuham Drona Ketti Ennadum Ketiripu Jan Saubhadran Unni Vittarum Pilarkilleru Ningadil. I had heard that Drona had formed a circular formation, and none among you except Abhimanyu could break it. വ്യൂഹത്തിൽ നിന്നു പൊന്നിടാൻ അവൻ ഓതിയിട്ടുമില്ല ഞാൻ. നിങ്ങളാ കുട്ടിയെ ശത്രുവ്യൂഹത്തിങ്കൽ കടത്തിയോ? I hadn't taught my son how to break and come back. I taught him only how to break into it. So, did you foolishly let him break into the formation, which is an entrapment. And this was how this Pratigna Parvam starts. Arjuna's concerns about something very wrong having happened. Now before we proceed, just as a stock taking, that we are on Drona Parva, which is the 7th major Parva out of 18. And this Mahabharatam, the translation into Malayalam, which is meter by meter, it is called Vrittanuvrtam, which is very true to the original. And of course, I also refer to the Sanskrit original whenever there is a confusion. And that Malayalam is in 7 thick volumes, not 7, 6 volumes. We have finished 2, we are on the 3rd, almost the middle. So we have 3.5 volumes to cover. But out of these, 1.5 volumes are fully on Shanti Parvam, which is the Parvam after the war, after the Drona Parvam, Shalya Parvam, Karna Parvam, then the Shanti Parvam, which is Yudhishthira approaching Bhishma on his bed of arrows and asking him for various tips for good administration and how a Kshatriya should conduct himself, and how Kshatriya could attain salvation. And that is 1.5 full volumes books. So we can, there is no story there, but it will be a pity if we don't cover them. I don't know how to do it, but I want to do something in the sense, at least a gist of the major advices given by Bhishma. Anyway, let us go up to that. But basically, 1.5 books is Shanti Parvam, which is Bhishma's advices to Yudhishthira. If we remove them, we are left with 2 books. Out of that, one will be the remaining part of the war, and another will be what follows the Pandavas' last days, etc. So that is taking stock of what has been done and what is yet to be done. And Arjuna, because he was very worried about Abhimanyu, usually he comes running and goes through the various battles he did that day, and victories. He always wins. Abhimanyu was said to be equal in valor and ability to Arjuna and Krishna. Abhimanyu doesn't come to him. So Arjuna approaches Yudhishthira and asks him, what happened to Abhimanyu? I don't see him. So Yudhishthira told him frankly, briefly, about what happened. And this was such a blow to Arjuna that he falls down unconscious. And he recovered from his unconsciousness in an angry mood, because he was told that the Pandavas as promised to Abhimanyu, were close on heels to him. And as soon as Abhimanyu entered the Chakravyuha, Bhima was right behind, and Satyaki, Drishtadyumna, we were all there, Yudhishthira himself. But unfortunately, Jayadratha blocked Bhimasena himself and let others to close the gap, make it as before. So Abhimanyu was essentially trapped inside, and he fought heroically, but at the end, alone, in the midst of 11 Akshauhinis of Kaurava army, with all those veterans like Drona, Kripa, Shalya, Ashwathama, Karna, all of them, they surrounded him, and Abhimanyu fought single-handedly. He stood for a long time, but finally, one by one, he lost his chariot. He had to fight from the floor, and they, somebody fighting on foot against enemies in various on horses and chariots, on elephants, he is at a great disadvantage. So his armor was pierced, his weapons were all destroyed by enemy arrows, and even Abhimanyu tried to defend himself with the wheel of his chariot, but even the wheel was crushed, torn into pieces by the arrows of enemies. And finally, Dushasana with a club hit Abhimanyu's head, and he fell down dead. This was given to Arjuna. And Arjuna became so angry, he said, I take a vow that before the sun sets next day, I shall kill Jayadratha. And of course, Arjuna gave, if Jayadratha runs away from the battle, there is nothing he could do. And if Jayadratha came to the Pandavas and apologized, even then Arjuna will let him go free. But otherwise, under all circumstances, he shall kill Jayadratha. That was the oath. And when this oath was taken, and after this oath, Arjuna twanged his Gandiva, pulled the strings forcefully so that it gave, fearful sounds. And Krishna blew on his conch, Arjuna also blew on his conch, and the Pandavas, they made various sounds from instruments, music instruments, drums and all that. And when Jayadratha heard this, and when he heard that Arjuna had taken this oath, he went to Duryodhana and said, no, I can't stand anymore here. I'm going back to my country. I don't want to fight. So please excuse me. But Duryodhana tried to console him, saying the entire Kaurava army with that 11 Akshauhinis and with all those veterans are there to protect. And the entire army will be surrounding Jayadratha. We shall soon see what sort of formation. And there is nothing to worry that Jayadratha will be the last that Arjuna kills, because before that he has to kill the entire Duryodhana's armies and veterans. Now, and after this, Krishna told Arjuna that, Arjuna, you have taken an oath, and we shall or support you, but don't think that you can do it easily. It will be a very difficult task, because of the entire Duryodhana's army will block you. Uh, and anyway, the first task is to console Subhadra and Uttara, Abhimanyu's wife, and also Draupadi. So Arjuna asked Krishna. Arjuna couldn't do himself. Krishna would have done a better work. So requested Krishna to console Subhadra and Uttara. And Krishna said, okay, I shall do that. I think our time is almost up. So we'll leave it that part for next day. And we stop now. Namaskaram.